Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Untitled Reviews. Now, it's been quite a long time since we covered a headset on this channel, and so we're going to be rectifying that now with Logitech's all-new G Pro X Wireless that aims to cut the cord on one of Logitech's most affordable and exciting headsets. At a price of $189.99, it's certainly on the more expensive side, but with its extravagant feature set may just offer the right solution for those more esports designed gamers. And inside the box, it's quite the package itself. You get the headphones, complete with a neoprene pouch for travelling, a USB-C charging cable, detachable microphone, light-speed receiver, some different ear cups if you want to change those around, and some documentation. Now, from the outset, it's certainly clear that the G Pro X Wireless is a rather classy looking and robust designed headset. That comes with its combination of faux leather on the headband and a metal side on the ear cups, if the camera decides to focus on that, that help it to give this kind of understated look. A lot of other headsets, not just at this price, but more gamer-oriented headsets, have these kind of sharp curves and aggressive lines that really mark them out as being designed for the stereotypical gamer. I didn't get that sense when looking at the G Pro X Wireless, and I don't get it now. It would probably more look right on the head of a pilot as opposed to somebody that's playing Counter-Strike. Now, one of the most striking things about this particular headset is its voluminous levels of padding. Not only the faux leather around the headband at the top there, but also the amount that you get on the ear cups. What is nice about the G Pro X Wireless, just as an aside for the minute, is that it comes with these interchangeable ones. It comes with these leatherette ones as standard, but I swapped them out for the cloth ones that are included that you can see here, just because I thought that they were a little bit more comfortable. However, despite having that voluminous amounts of padding and that offering incredible passive noise isolation, and them also making the headphones rather comfortable, it does come at a little bit of a cost. It does mean that the headband on them is a little bit stiff. That may be quite difficult to portray in a video, but I assure you, it does mean they're a little bit fiddly to get on and off your head, despite being such a snug fit. Where the G Pro X Wireless does win against other headphones is that it features some rather nice onboard media controls. If I spin that round, you should be able to see that you've got the USB-C port there for charging, there's a mic mute and power on button, as well as the nicely placed understated volume wheel. Although there isn't really much tactile feedback in that, if I was to give you an honest opinion. Another thing relating to media controls is that Logitech, with the G Pro X Wireless, have decided to opt for a detachable microphone, as you can see here. Detachable microphones are common pretty much with any gaming-oriented headphones, whether they cost £50, £100 or £189 in the case of this particular one. It certainly feels premium with this kind of metal shafty bit, if you will, and it certainly clips on rather easily, like so. And you're ready for a day's gaming on Counter-Strike, and the flexibility that it offers is certainly welcomed. One thing to note about the G Pro X Wireless by way of design is that it doesn't feature a 3.5mm audio input like some other kind of more detachable and traditional headphones, like the Bose AE2 SoundLinks that I use day to day, who are a wireless set of headphones by their nature. They do have a 3.5mm input and output jacks, so if you want to connect them to anything other than something than with a USB port with these, that's just something to be a little bit wary of. Of course, anybody's opinion that you're going to get on audio performance is going to be subjective, but I'm going to try and give you my take on the G Pro X Wireless now. Certainly the G Pro X Wireless, for a headset that costs so much, does offer some rather striking audio performance. It's remarkably well balanced, with nothing being too overwhelming. You don't get the sense that there's a slightly more punchy bass that you do get with some other headphones. There's a great sense of positioning with the audio on the G Pro X Wireless, even without any software-assisted surround sound that Logitech offers in their G Hub software that we'll get onto in a moment, thanks to DTS Headphone 2. But that big sound the G Pro X Wireless creates can, I suppose, be attributed to its hybrid mesh Pro G 50mm drivers. And that big sound is perfect for those long, intense gaming sessions where you need to know where everything is. And it's really at this point, unfortunately, where the positives end, and there's a couple of negatives to point out. There is a small problem with the G Pro X Wireless by way of compatibility. As a result of it only including this small 2.4 GHz light speed receiver, and the fact it's got no form of traditional wired option or Bluetooth support, it does inherently limit the devices it can be used on. Having that USB sound card, if you like, means that it can work with any PC that comes with USB 3 A ports built in. So it will only work on a selection of modern laptops, Ultrabooks, and PCs. It completely rolled out the 2020 MacBook Pro, at least without any form of adapter that I use for basically day-to-day work. Fortunately, though, that does mean it does work with a Nintendo Switch when that's in docked mode and a PlayStation 5. However, I couldn't, with all the things I tried, get the G Pro X Wireless to work with my Xbox Series X, even with using 3 or 4 different ports and fiddling with the settings and turning everything off and on again. It just wouldn't budge. But I'm not going to end it on a negative note. One thing that is positive about the G Pro X Wireless is that the battery life did completely live up to its billing. It lasted exactly the 20 hours that Logitech claimed before the battery suddenly died while I was in the middle of a game of Counter-Strike. Now, it's all very well and good me saying that the audio quality of the G Pro X Wireless is absolutely marvellous, but considering this is a gaming headset and designed primarily for its use online, how does it sound out the box? Well, me using it now, this is completely on the straight out of the box settings. Logitech with the G Pro X Wireless have opted for a cardioid microphone, which is actually the case for the majority of gaming headsets. And what this means in layman's terms is that the sound from the front that's picked up is far more prominent than from the back and sides. And the fact that the sound that's being picked up from the front, this is also reinforced by the fact that it is a unidirectional microphone, meaning that it only picks up sound from one direction as opposed to omnidirectional, which is the multi-directional pickup pattern. Some other standalone microphones from Blue, who have lended their hand here for the Blue voice integration on the G Pro X Wireless's microphone in order to make it sound better, do actually feature on their Yeti a multitude of pickup patterns, such as an omnidirectional one. Now, straight out the box, as you can probably hear, this particular mic sounds all right, but it may not be as clear and sharp as the headset's high price may have you believe. Audio leveling completely sounds absolutely fine. But to my ears, the microphone certainly sounds a little bit compressed and maybe a tad thin. However, with extensive adjustment within Logitech's G-Hub software and that combo of Blue voice integration means that it is possible to tweak the mic's performance by adding some real-time voice filters in order to reduce any background noise, balance some levels, and making your voice a little bit more prominent over the in-game explosions and gunfire that you may happen to be. There are even, which is a rather nice touch, provided with a whole load of presets that can be used to represent the mic quality that's been enlisted by some of the esports pros, which does actually help in giving the G Pro X Wireless a little bit more esports pedigree than it perhaps had originally. However, what I will say is that if you're somebody who is looking to get into streaming or broadcasting and you've got money to burn, it's probably better off spending the near £200 fee that this headphones command on a dedicated microphone, be it with an XLR interface or just USB instead. I mean, we've got plenty of videos on microphones from a lot of different price points on this particular channel, and the one that I'd recommend going for in that instance is Rode's NT USB. Now, as much as Logitech's G Pro X Wireless is a decent headset out of the box, it's really when you marry it with Logitech's famed G-Hub software that you really start to unlock this headset's true potential. There's an entire myriad of options when it comes to sorting either the actual sound of the headphones as well as the microphone as well. And what this is going to do is take you on a little bit of a walkthrough of that. So when you first open up G-Hub with the G Pro X Wireless plugged in, you're greeted with this rather nice menu where you can fiddle with the headphones, either acoustics, namely the volume, mic and the side tone, which offers you a kind of zero latency monitoring sort of thing, as you do get with rather premium microphones like Rode's NT USB, as well as the surround sound is used on the G Pro X Wireless to make it sound that little bit sharper and crisper, and also to mainly help out audio kind of placement. That's really where the surround sound and the marvels of it come in. On the acoustic side of things, though, there's of course a myriad of presets. So if you don't want to really enable the software-assisted surround sound that we'll come on to in a moment, you're covered here as well. There's presets for bass boosting, making it good for communication, just having a completely flat one, so there's nothing that's kind of further up or down, as well as also presets that are designed for first-person shooters and multiplayer online battle arena games, or MOBA for short. Or if you really just want to dive in at the deep end, there's the option to fiddle with all sorts of things in this in this rather large kind of advanced equalizer that you don't have to have enabled if you don't want to. Then it just gives you a nice little bass and a treble. However, on the other side of things comes the surround sound. This the G Pro X Wireless here makes use of DTS headphone version 2, so you have 7 different presets in here, 7 different kind of audio zones, if you like, that you can fiddle with, change the volume of, as well as a separate one for bass, and obviously you can test the surround sound. I have to say, when using the surround sound test, it takes you through all sorts of game dialogue, music, and all sorts, just to make sure that everything sounds just right. You can fiddle with all sorts of modes along the side here, so if you want it specifically for entertainment, if you're sitting here watching a film, or if you're using it for gaming in games like Counter-Strike, or actually watching sport, that can be done as well. There's also this fantastic DTS Super Stereo mode, so you can either have that off and just use the DTS Headphone 2 surround sound, as well as other modes that push audio more towards the front or the sides, or a slightly more traditional option to give you a well-rounded experience. Now, of course, this headphone side of affairs is only one side of the story when it comes to what the G Pro X Wireless and G Hub's software marriage can do. There's also plenty of options when it comes to the microphone. So, slightly skip through the tutorial here. You'll see that you're greeted once again, as you were in the case of the headphones, with this absolutely marvelous plethora of options, with everything from changing the mic gain to enabling the Blue Voice software and getting all sorts of these advanced controls that basically means you can fiddle with the microphone on the G Pro X Wireless until your heart's content in order to sound the best you can. This is all nicely packaged into this little window here, so you can test how you sound. There's a nice 3-stage voice equalizer as well, just to make sure that if you've got a particularly high squeaky voice and you need to push up the low ends, there's the option to do that, or to push up the mids or the highs as well, to give you a properly rounded audio experience, as well as just to make you sound a little bit clearer. There's things like the de-esser and noise reduction that are designed to just make sure that it's only you that can be heard, and if there are any harsh S sounds in the case of the de-esser, then it's designed to balance everything out as well. Or if you don't want to fiddle with that and just want to use the vast amount of presets that G Hub also offers, there's plenty of those as well. Of course, if you want to make yourself sound like some of those esports pros and mimic their experience, Logitech offers you the experience to do that. Or if you want to try and make yourself sound like you're presenting on a radio station, then the G Pro X Wireless can be used for that as well. And basically what this means is that if you do end up getting this particular headset, it's a really well worth a download for G Hub, because it just unlocks basically everything you've ever wanted to do with a gaming headset, and completely more is all on offer here.
So, in conclusion then, should you buy Logitech's G Pro X Wireless? Well, it's a perfect headset if you're looking for something that will last from now until absolutely doomsday. It's one of the sturdiest and most well-built products that we've ever featured on this channel, and that's even being pitted up against some of the more premium and expensive keyboards and mice, and some of the mics that we featured as well. This blows everything else out of the water. It's also a great product if you've got a fair amount of money to burn. $189.99 is by no means cheap for any product, not least a gaming headset, and so it's perfect for you as well. And that goes hand in hand with this next point. It's also great if you want to try and be as esports ready as you can. Spending this much money on a headset and the fantastic audio quality that it offers should put you in good stead. It's not really the best one, as I say, if you're on a bit of a tight budget or you want an all-purpose headset that will work for every device. You're probably better off sticking with a more generic pair of headphones from anybody like Bose or Beats, or anybody like that, who are going to offer you a headset that may offer Bluetooth and wired 3.5mm connectivity. That means it will work for every device. With all that being said, this is a marvellous product, and it certainly gets a fair amount of recommendation from us over here. Now, all that remains to be said is that if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. To follow us on Twitter and Instagram, links should be appearing on the screen for that right about now. And to check out the blog as well in the description. There'll be a myriad of posts over there that you'll be sure to enjoy. Also, another aside is that there's now a Teespring store where you can pick up some marvellous Untitled merch, be it if you're looking for t-shirts, mugs, sweatshirts, hoodies, wall art and whatnot. There's all the stuff down there, and Teespring do ship worldwide, which is absolutely marvellous.
And of course, if you like any of the kit that we feature in these videos, be it this particular Logitech G Pro X wireless headphones, or any of the oodles of keyboards, mice, headsets, and other headphones and microphones that we feature on this channel, then there'll be Amazon links down in the description to those where you can pick them up. So thank you very much for watching.